I have only once been the beneficiary of a legacy. It was in 1983, and it came at a very significant time. We were living in the London area in a rented flat, and wondering if we would ever be able to buy a house. But that legacy enabled us to put down a small deposit on a terraced house in Watford. It was just before the yuppie era, when house prices began to rocket. A year later, and we would have been priced out of the market forever. As you can imagine, it was very welcome. But, of course, there was a downside. The legacy came through the death of my late father, and so inevitably it was tinged with sadness. Shortly before Jesus died, he made a will. This may be a surprise, particularly as he said foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. We find the exact terms of his will in John's Gospel, chapter 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. We can ask 3 questions about this legacy. Who made it? What was in it? And who is it for? It was made by none other than Jesus. It was made only hours before his arrest, trial, sentence, and execution. And yet, here's the amazing thing. The content of his will can be summed up in one word: peace. Jesus described it as my peace. In other words, the peace which he knew and which he displayed. Picture again that nighttime scene on Lake Galilee when a great storm arose and the disciples feared for their lives. Jesus was asleep in the boat. The disciples went and woke him up, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." And he said to them, "Why are you afraid, you of little faith?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a dead calm. The striking thing about this incident is not merely peace after the storm, amazing as that was, but peace during the storm, Jesus' own peace. In the words of Paul, the peace which passes all understanding. That is what Jesus offers. That is his legacy, his gift, my peace. There's also a clause which underlines the uniqueness of the legacy. I do not give as the world gives. There is nothing in the world that can match or replace this wonderful gift. So who is it for? In a word, you. Notice the threefold repetition in the 3 clauses. You, you, you. But where there's a will, there always has to be a death. The peace which Jesus offers comes about only because of his death. And what a death! Death on the cross. Therein lies the tinge of sadness. However, as the Easter hymn reminds us, Christ is risen. All the sadness of his earthly life is o'er. Through the open gates of gladness, he returns to life once more.